Greetings and blessings to everybody. This is my first video for YouTube. I'd like to show you all my altar and my Book of Shadows. So here we go. Here is my altar. And here is my Book of Shadows. Alright, I'll start with my altar, go into a little bit of detail. Okay, let's see here on the top. Let's start from the top. It's two tiers if you can't tell. So, here on the top, I like to keep a candle burning for the Lord and for the lady. An incense burner for the spirit and element of air. Obviously the candles represent the element of fire. I've got fresh picked tomatoes to represent the element of earth, as well as crow feathers and other feathers. I'm totally into crow medicine as well as other animal medicine and other Native beliefs, Native American beliefs, that is. Down here we've got a china dish full of water and a china dish full of salt. If you're wiccan or spiritual in any nature, I assume you already know what these are for. These candles burning here are from other spell works that I've initiated, and they'll continue to burn until they run out of wax. So what else do we have here? Got a moon candle and a star candle. My wife and I like to leave those on the altar as a representation of the goddess. I've got my athame here and my other knives that I use for herbs and carving in wax and wood mainly. Got a few stones and crystals up here for various different reasons. I won't go into that in this video. I believe that pretty much covers the top of the altar. And it's just an old wooden cabinet that we've had around the house, so we converted it into one of our mini altars. So this is our main altar. In the bottom, we like to keep extra candles and different tools and things that we need to use from time to time. On the top shelf, we've got notebooks that we work in. This is book one, talismans and amulets. Got a copy of the Almanac, Study Bible, a couple of Christian books in there, both of our Book of Mirrors. Can't tell. Yeah, it's kind of dark. There you go. Just blank leather books that we use as our Book of Mirrors, dream journal. Let's see here, a couple of binders that were the original Book of Shadows. So that covers the inside. Got handmade wands here, hanging on the wall on one side of the altar. And a tree of life on there, small tail feather and some shells on that one. A little bit of carving on this one, and the top one is the first one that I ever made, so those are all kind of special to me. Over here we've got some pillar candles, handmade. All the candles that you see here are handmade. I like to put a lot of energy into them, so I only use my candles that I made. No store-bought candles. Over here, just another shelf that I like to use for reading and writing different things. Sometimes we use it for candle magic. I usually reserve that for the altar. Okay. Here's a representation of Earth again. This is a Wandering Jew. Wife loves it. It's purple in color, if you can't tell. I've got a purple candle burning over here, representation of fire. So here's my Book of Shadows. I will start from the beginning and run through it real quick. Just a hardbound book. I can't remember which store I picked it up at, but it was, I'd say, 400 pages in blank. So started with that. Book of Shadows. Book of Shadows Blessing. Ended that with a Viking rune, a symbol of power and protection. So that's pretty fitting. The Wiccan read. The laws and ethics of most Wiccans. The law of return, or karma. Ethic of self-responsibility. The ethic of constant improvement. And the ethic of attunement. All very important in my opinion. 13 Principles of American Witchcraft. Those were set by the Council of American Witches in 1974. All very good, if nothing else, as a guidepost for most Wiccans. Not all follow those. Here's a little something on solitary eclectic Wicca, listing of the common tools of a Wiccan. Here we have the elements, a little bit about each one, a little sketch of their symbols. So there's all those. Got the Wheel of the Year and the pagan festivals, or Esbats and Sabbats, whichever you like to call, and a little description and the date of each one. So there's that. Here's a page that explains the lunar influences, new moon, full moon, waxing moon, and all of the astrological signs that the moon phases through. Here's a planetary correspondence page. Tells you a little bit about each day, what planet they're in, what color candle you might burn for specific influences. Next, we've got a section on astrological signs, a little bit about each one of them, a little sketching of their symbol. So there's all those. Next, I've got quite a few pages of different deities and brief descriptions of each one. So we've got deities associated with the Sun, with Mercury, Venus, Moon, quite a few for the Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Then we've got Greek deities, Roman deities, Celtic deities, Egyptian deities, Hindu, Buddhist, Norse deities, and other deities. Next, we've got a listing here of different, we'll say, occult gifts and abilities that range from psychic to clairempathy to clairsentient to clairvoyant to channeling, remote viewing, telepathy, empathy, telepathy, telekinesis, dream walking, just all kinds of things in there. I've got a page on meditation and some techniques on that, a page on simple circle casting, a page on magic and just a little bit about what it is, manipulation of energy, a page on channeling and 6 steps to becoming better at that, divination and the 4 categories of divination, page on simple spell casting, just a little bit about that, a couple warnings for greedy and ignorant people, a little page here on simple candle magic and a listing of each color and their influences. So that's an interesting page. Here's a page on consecrating and charging things, and explaining you how to do that properly. Here is a few animal medicine definitions, lists of quite a few animals here, and what it may mean if you see one or cross the path of one or dream about one, just various different things. Now we've got a few pages of runes. There's the Viking rune I was telling you about. So just a few common runes there, if you will. And then we've got elemental runes, astrological runes, planetary runes. There's quite a few of the old languages here. A lot of covens use as their magical language. So I've been writing in runic for a few years now, and I find it very interesting. I think everybody should pick up a magical alphabet and maybe create their own. Next, I've got major Christian denominations, so major world religions, celebrating the 8 Sabbats, traditional foods for the Sabbats. Let's see here, finding your birth number, numerical values of the alphabet helps you find your magical name, a brief history of Wicca, different signs of power, quite a few of them in there, Wiccan traditions and different branches of Wicca, influential people to Wicca. And the next part of my Book of Shadows is mainly spells, rituals, rites, ceremonies, and we'll get into that in the next video. I also have a herb dictionary in there, but I believe that'll be all for now. So Mary part, and blessed be.